All right, Math 87, Lesson 111, page 697. This is dividing in scientific notation. This is something I'm pretty sure you're already doing, but we're just going to go over it again, make sure you get this locked in. Okay, so don't look up here for just a second. When we multiply and the bases are the same, you add the exponents. Okay, so if you have 3 to the third times 3 to the fourth, which is the 3's don't change. This equals 3 to the 3 plus 4, which is 7. It's not 9 down here. It's a really common mistake. This is not 9 to the 7th. It's the base stays the same. Okay? The base stays the same. So when we multiply, we add the exponents. When we divide, we subtract the exponents. Let's flip this thing around here. If we have 3 to the 2, let's put a 5 here, and if we have divided by 3 to the 2, again, the 3's do not divide. Not until later, if we're going to. It's the base doesn't change. It's this. 5 minus 2 is 3 to the 3. So the 3's don't change. Understand? It's not 3 divided by 3. It's this to this exponent divided by this to this exponent. You subtract the exponents. Now, in the end, if you want to run that out, that's 3 to the third, it's 27. But not here. It's not 1. This is not 9. This is 3 to the third times 3 to the fourth, which is 3 to the seventh, which I don't want to mess with because it's a pretty big number. Okay, does that make sense? So don't forget this. When we multiply the bases, we add the exponent. If the base is the same, we add the exponent. When we divide, if the bases are the same, we subtract the exponents, okay? So let's just look at this. Now, what we use this for is in like science. There's going to be a word problem here, talking about the distance from the earth to the sun and all these other big numbers. We can make it into scientific notation. We can deal with it. So this is two separate problems, all right? Here is one, and here is another, okay? 6 divided by 1.2. 6 divided by 1.2. So this part of it is 6 divided by 1.2 like this. Move the decimal, take the decimal, move it over, and bring it up. So we have this right here. 12 goes into 60 5 times. This part of it is 5. This part of it is just 5. It is a division problem, okay? So this part of it is 5 times 10. The bases are the same, and so we're dividing, we subtract the exponents. 8 take away 6 is 2. That's the answer. Now, one thing you got to be careful of is make sure that this piece here is in scientific notation. If there's more than one number here, if there's a decimal here, this has to be in scientific notation before we're finished. But this is in scientific notation, so we're finished. Right here, 3 divided by 6. 3 divided by 6. Okay, we're going to do this. You're going to bring the decimal up here. You're going to put a 0 here. 6 goes into 30 5 times. So this part of it right here is 0.5. Okay, 5/10. Right here. Yes? You like my eraser? Isn't that cool? High-tech stuff here. This one is, excuse me, this is subtraction. Again, it's times 10 to the 3 minus 6. Is that, you understand? It's 3 minus 6. It's this minus this. So this piece here is going to be like this. I'm going to move it up, okay? So we have 5/10 times 10 to the negative 3. 3 take away 6 is negative 3. All right? I'm going to subtract as I go here. Take this stuff off because I should have started higher. All right, anyway. So is this in scientific notation? Just because it's got this doesn't mean yes. That is not in scientific notation. So what you do, guys, again, it's so hard for you to get you to this. Forget about this part for a minute. Forget about it. 0.5 is not in scientific notation. I don't care about that. I want this. To make this into scientific notation, I have to move the decimal one place over here. Okay, I'm starting with a decimal number, so I'm going to have a negative exponent. So this is 5, if I could write. My writer is not going well here today. So this is going to be 5 times 10 to the negative 1. Not that. Not that. Just that right there. This right here is this. Now I take and put this on with it. This part right here, that's the first part. It's very important. Take this step at a time. I've got some ninth graders that will not do this, and they miss these consistently because they won't do this step right here. They want to combine everything. Now we take this part right here and put it together. We still have the 5 times 10. We have this and this. We're adding exponents. A negative plus a negative is a bigger negative. This is the answer. Not that. This is the answer. This 0.5 is not scientific notation. This is equal to 5 times 10 to the negative 1. Then we bring that down. Now we combine those. There's the negative 4. Now it's in scientific notation. Okay? Same thing right here. 2 divided by 8. 2 divided by 8. Okay? Decimal, 0, 0. Excuse me. 8 goes into 20. 2 times 16, 45. So this right here is 0.25. Now, I'm going to do this. Before I even mess with this, I'm going to put this in scientific notation. It's not in scientific notation yet. I want the decimal between the 2 and the 5. I want to have 2.5 times 10. I started with a decimal, so this is a negative 1. So this is right here. This is right here. And I haven't done this yet. Let's take this part right here. This is negative 2, and it's super important you do it like this. 10 to the negative 2, minus negative 8. You understand? This is a subtraction problem. It's negative 2 minus negative 8. There's 2 negatives here. That's and the opposite. So it's negative 2 and positive 8. This is 10 to the 6 right there. It's 8 take away 2. So this is times 10 to the 6. So we have 2.5 times 10. It's a negative 1 and a plus 6. That's a subtraction problem. 6 take away 1. Sign of the greater rules. There's the answer. This ends up being that. You have to change that into scientific notation right here. Okay? Then you do this right here. It's right here. 10 with a minus, minus a minus. Minus a minus is plus a positive. Negative 2 positive 8 is 10 to the 6. That is right here. Then you take these 2 and put them together. That's 10 to the 5. Very important that you take all of these steps. None of them are hard. Just remember what you're doing. This is a division problem. This is a division problem, but we subtract the exponents. If this division problem comes out with a single-digit number like this, you're fine. If this division problem comes out with a decimal like this, or more than one digit number, I have to change this to scientific notation right here. And we bring that down, combine those, there's the answer. You got to be very careful to get your answer in scientific notation.